Good morning and welcome to this July 25th version of From Sunrise to Sunset with Pastor Gene. In 1984, my district superintendent was that same pastor who had introduced me to the love of Jesus. And I think out of the real love of Jesus, he helped get me out of a situation where I was immature and needing to grow up. And he put me into he and the bishop and the cabinet put me into my first full-time appointment, first real full-time appointment in Norlina, North Carolina. And Norlina was a special town. It had two parsonages on the same street. The parsonage for Norlina Church was at the end of the street, and the parsonage for the Jerusalem Zion Charge was at the other end of the street. And I was good friends with the pastors who lived in that house. Still am, and we would play golf together. One of us did anyway. We would go play golf together and this sort of thing. But I never knew until one day that there was something troubling that pastor. You see, there was a $400 salary difference between the two of us, and mine was on the higher end, and that bothered him. And he went and he talked to the district superintendent about it, and he told him that I had said some things that I had not, which was it kind of angered my superintendent, and he called me into his office. And when he did, he found out I had not said the things I had been accused of saying, and I didn't feel that way. I couldn't feel that way because this superintendent was the same man who was my pastor as a boy, who had introduced me to the love of Jesus, and I would never say anything bad about him. And he knew it. It's interesting to me how the small things can cause such big disagreements. I went to see this pastor, and I showed up in his driveway, and I knocked on his door, and I was furious, and his wife answered the door, and she knew why I was there because she knew what had happened. And I said, "Where is he?" And she said, "He's upstairs." And I went upstairs, and I stood over him, and I said, "Vern, you know what I've got to do to you now." And he said, "What?" And I said, "I've got to forgive you." He said, "I'm sorry, Gene. I let my jealousy get the best of me." And I learned in that moment that the gospel of Jesus Christ, the real love of our Lord, works. And the next thing I said to Vern, "What time are we playing golf tomorrow?" And that was it. So I want you to think about the little things that are keeping us from being united in the love of Jesus Christ. Because the real love of God is our blessing, and it's our focus, and it will be from sunrise to sunset.